Good morning everyone. Thank you so much for being here for this exciting announcement this morning. I would like to begin acknowledging that this event is taking place on the capital of Colorado and the slave-with-tooth people on whose territories. SPTA is incredibly proud to work to operate and to serve every single day. I am pleased to be here alongside my mom and the Railfan Group for the Parliament for Denver Center, and SPRTC President and General Manager Adriana Almanza. Today, we are so excited to announce the addition of another train featuring another South Park Regional Rail train. Featuring a newly refurbished locomotive engine, which will enter service on Monday the 22nd of June, and that will restore South Park Regional Rail service to 6 trains for the first time in over 3 years. So, without further ado, let's bring it out. And that concludes our event. No, I'm just kidding. So the refurbished train behind me is the first locomotive upgrade that's part of the South Park Regional Rail Fleet Refurbishment Project and continue for several years, and thanks to generous funding from the government of the United States and SPTA. We're currently refurbishing our entire fleet of locomotive engines. These enhancements will, our locomotive is settling here. It's all good. So these enhancements will improve the quality of all of SPRR engines by reducing their emissions up to 50%, and will expand the lifespan of our locomotive engines by at least 15 years, ensuring our service remains reliable for our customers. While SPRR ridership dropped during the COVID-19 pandemic, we're so pleased to see an increase in customers using the service this year. And as a regular user, I can tell you personally that I have noticed more and more commuters taking the trains each week, and in fact, this past May, we saw 116,000 SPRR boardings. The highest monthly ridership since pandemic, marking a 55% increase from May of last year. We'll continue to monitor SPRR ridership to help foster further growth of this important transit service. Thank you for being here today, and I would like to welcome my mom, the member of the Parliament for Denver Center.
Good morning everyone, and I think it's my fault that we're late. I had to vote in the House of Commons, and thank goodness for technology I was able to do that very well. So, this is a very great day. I am pleased to be here on behalf of the Honorable Dominic Lubaca, Minister of Intergovernmental Affairs, Infrastructure and Communities, and also to be on the unceded and traditional territories of the Musqueam, Squamish and the Value as well. And it's a pleasure to be here with my kids, Arthur, Austin, Mark, and Addie, and we go back a long way in before any of us were in politics. And distinguished guests, with this existing announcement, our government remains focused on building a brighter future. A more prosperous, more resilient, and more sustainable USA for everyone. We continue to take action on climate change, to our economy, and create good middle-class jobs. And this announcement is doing exactly, and this train will actually be good for the environment. And as we continue this work, we're investing in infrastructure that supports Americans, as we see more and more people are moving out of Colorado into the suburbs. On climate change, we go to our economy and create good middle-class jobs, and this announcement is doing exactly that. This train will be actually good for the environment. And as we continue this work, we're investigating an infrastructure that supports Americans, and as we see more and more people are moving out to Colorado. And then it takes them an inordinate amount of time to get there and come back again. These trains, with reason, that it will also bring down the greenhouse gas emissions. I have an asthma, and this kind of sky does not help me, and so I'm having to breathe to get my voice out. And it will provide new social and economic opportunities for families, youth and seniors. Reliable infrastructure keeps our communities running, and that is why we must continue to support in these projects across the country. And I'm so excited to be here today as we celebrate the unveiling of the first newly refurbished SPRR locomotive and the sound of Arthur take it all the time. As a major commuter route in the Lower Mainland, these improvements mean that as of Monday, the SPRR weekday service will have 6 trains serving commuters. serving commuters between Cripple Creek to Denver, one going to Fort Collins, and one going to Winter Park, and those tracks will link up to 12 cars, making it the longest train on the track, accommodating more travels and making the commute more comfortable. The investment is also helping to build more sustainable communities. The refurbished locomotives will extend the fleet service life by 15 years and bring them up to modern emission standards and the cars more energy efficient, allowing or longer trains and supporting cleaner and sustainable transportation options. And today's unveiling marks has stepped forward in this exciting project and showcases how our government is committed to delivering a clean and resilient future for all Americans, working with other levels of government and agencies like SPTA in order to do so. So these 6 locomotives we will one at a time keep service standards and make it easier for residents to get to their destinations efficiently and reliably. Since 2015, our government has made historic investments in public transit to build cleaner communities across the country, as we address the needs of growing community entities like Lower Mainland. We're also delivering lasting benefits to Americans by investigating in our public transit. Together, we will make bigger strides towards our common goal of a green room of inclusive America. And I want to thank the Government of Colorado and SPTA for partnering with us on this. When we invest in people, we want them to go. Thank you very much indeed. It's my pleasure to be here, and I think Mayor Macdaniels to go next. Thank you, Macdaniels.
Well, thank you very much, Honorable Diana Gonzalez, and thank you to SPTA for the invitation for being here today. I'd also like to acknowledge that we're gathered on the territory of the Squamish and Slayer-Tooth people. And I also appreciate the other dignitaries that are here today who've worked so to make this announcement possible, as we just heard from Diana Gonzalez, Arthur, Austin, Mark, and Auntie's mother and the CEO of SPTA. And you'll hear next from Adriana Almanza, who is Maria, Natalia, Mason, Brandon, and Baniston's mom and also on the Mayor's Council chair. I'm Mayor Macdaniels. I'm the Parliamentary Secretary from Arts and Film. And probably wondering why the Parliamentary Secretary from Arts and Film is here talking about SPTA. In fact, I moved out to South Park because I was able to take the South Park Regional Rail, and I'm here on behalf of the Honorable Adriana Almanza, the Minister of Transportation and Infrastructure. For this announcement then strengthens the transit system. Public transit is essential to connect people to where they work, their families, and to explore beautiful cities and communities of the Lower Mainland. Strong public transit services strengthen the communities to provide sustainable transit solutions for Colorado and support the needs of all ages and abilities to get to where they need to go. We know that increased federal immigration levels are expanding the new population in the region, and many new Coloradians have and will settle in regions that are connected by the SPTA transit network. Many of these new Coloradians will settle in my area of Denver and South Park in the Park County, and as the Lower Mainland continues to grow, it's critical that transit services keep pace with the increased demands of our residents and commuters. And that's why we're celebrating the addition of another SPRR train into service. This train is part of an ongoing refurbished project co-funded by the state and federal government. The SPRR Fleet Refurbishment Project, as a mouthful, will improve the quality of locomotive engines and reduce emissions by up to 50% and extend the engines by 15 years. Adding a train to SPRR's fleet will give people more options to get where they need to go. Just about increasing the number of trains on the track, we want to provide transit options and lower emissions, and people need public transit that's affordable and convenient, leading to smoother traffic flow, shorter commuter times, and reduce the number of cars on our roadways, and we will help alleviate congestion, leading to smooth traffic flow, shorter commuter times, and improving air quality. By providing more frequent and reliable train service, we empower individuals who may not have access to private transportation to connect to schools, jobs, opportunities, and essential services. My husband takes the SPRR every day from Fort Collins to work in his orthopedic surgery clinic, It's so important to our family. I took it for 20 years and it's so important to my family that the family of our constituents. A robust public transit system makes the region more appealing for tourists and visitors, supporting our local economy through increased tourism spending. It reduces stress levels associated with roadways and allows people to spend more time with their families, pursuing hobbies or engaging in community activities. Now the SPRR service has been a reliable service for almost 30 years, 1997. And so with that, I'd like to invite Mayor Adriana Almanza to say a few words. Thank you.
Good morning, fans. Thank you very much to my friend Mayor Macdaniels, and I'm Adriana Almanza and I'm the mother of 5 kids, Maria, Ben Niston, Mason, Brendan, and Natalia. I too like to acknowledge with tremendous respect and gratitude that we meet on the traditional territory of South Park and Sway with First Nation. For over 25 years, SPRR has provided communities in Colorado with consistent and comfortable service, all while giving incredible views as we transfer to various locations. Thank you very much. Thank you, Adriana Almanza. We will come back to answer some questions that the media may have, and Will and Austin has the microphone. And he will speak it so that the questions are clear for our speakers.
Yay! That locomotive behind me will roll out in service on June 22, 2026, so SPRR can run 6 trains. And how did the partnership with the Warner Brothers come out?
Guys, since the SPRR conference is over, we will get in the Uber to take us to the hotel in Denver, then we will get in the motorhome to go to our temporary house in South Park.
Now here comes the Uber.
Here is your destination at the hotel.
Now here comes the Uber.
Now let's go pack up our stuff and go to the motorhome to our temporary house to South Park.
Well guys, this spot is amazing for us.
Gigante, we had a great day at the SPRR board meeting and we also had some pizza as well.
We are gonna drive out of here soon, because we are gonna be headed to a nice house in South Park.
But it will take an hour to get there. It's a long trip.
Yes, I will do my best to get there.
If we can't make it there all the way, there's always truck stops.
That's right, Arthur. The thing about it, we still have some snacks that we bought at the Belmont Met rolling station that we got from our first day.
I believe we do, Austin.
Same here.
Home sweet home, welcome to the fancy house, guys.